All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Folks, I've been dreading this video for actually 2 full days now. The Green Bay Packers 24-21 loss this past Saturday night. I do have to remind myself to keep zooming out because the Green Bay Packers made the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers, the same team who was 3-6, the same team who had Aaron Rodgers last year and is starting their first year as a starting QB in Jordan Love. The team that went 9-8 was the 7th seed and went on the road and took down the Dallas Cowboys in embarrassing fashion. Like, I have to remind myself to zoom out because, yes, it's so clear that the Packers had a successful season and the Packers were the better team for a large majority of that football game against San Francisco. And we found our franchise quarterback, but that doesn't make the pain any less better. It just really doesn't. And so it's going to take a couple of days. Maybe it's going to take a couple of weeks. And I know from our live stream earlier today that a lot of Packers fans feel the same way. I could sit back here on the microphone and nitpick that game and say, oh, Matt LaFleur, you should have done this. You should have done that. I can say, Anders Carlson, you should have made that field goal. All of this stuff. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because San Francisco made plays when they need to, and Green Bay didn't. And it's just as clean, clear, cut, and dry as that. And it sucks. It does suck. But hey, this isn't like the previous seasons where we lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs, where we came off a 12-4 season with another MVP from Aaron Rodgers. Like, no. All my Packers fans watching this video right now, and most NFL fans know, like, the Packers, it wasn't actually expected they would win that game. We did predict they would win that game. They should have won the game. But once again, we could sit here and play if and or but all night. But before we get any further into tonight's video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Packers fans, diehard cheesehead. So if we could try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So just a really interesting position to be in right now. The Green Bay Packers were the youngest team to make the NFL playoffs since 1970, back when the Buffalo Bills accomplished that. And we have every single one of our wide receivers / tight ends is in their first or second season. David Bakhtiari was injured for pretty much the whole season. Jair Alexander, Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, Eric Stokes. The Packers, all things considered, this was an amazing season. Like I said, my biases getting in the way here just because it's depressing. Like, it's just as simple as that. Like, we had it in our hands. The golf funny meme is like, she had it in the mouth and the kids walked in, whatever. Like, it's like flipping out a putt, man. It was in. We had it. But it is what it is. Jordan Love, I know it wasn't a crazy impressive statistical game, 21-34, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Obviously he pulled a Brett Favre, but I like to take the counterpoint and be like, dude, our quarterback who just started his first ever NFL season is getting compared to Brett Favre. Like, I'm going to take that as a compliment. I know the statistics aren't great, but if you watch that football game, like, yeah, he made mistakes. We know Jordan Love can be erratic at times. We know he can make some, unfortunate decisions that result in turnovers. But, like, this is what we talked about all week. Like, if you lose the turnover battle against a team like San Francisco, no matter your thoughts on Brock Purdy, no matter your thoughts on their roster, and if you think they're winning the Super Bowl or not, like, we all know, if you make mistakes against the San Francisco 49ers and they don't, you're going to lose the game. And you can say that about any team playing any team in that playoffs. Like, football in January is different. You do whatever it takes to win a football game. And, once again, man, the final 5 minutes, the final 6 minutes, San Francisco made plays offensively and defensively, and Green Bay didn't. But once again, this is the youngest team in the NFL. This is the youngest team to make the NFL playoffs since like over 50 years. So it's impressive in its own regard, but I know it just, it's a bitter taste in my mouth the way it ended, especially, San Francisco my entire life has just pretty much dominated my football team, which sucks. But hey, Aaron Jones rushed for 108 yards. Aaron Jones is healthy. Our wide receiver core looks great. Our quarterback looks freaking great. And, I could sit here behind the mic and be like, difficulties, how you respond to adversity, tells the tale, blah, blah, blah. Like, Jordan Love's familiar with this. Football players, professional football players are aware of this. It can make or break you. Like, these guys are ultra competitive. That's why they're in the NFL. And I have zero concerns. I have zero doubts that Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, and the Green Bay Packers team in general isn't going to recover from this and isn't going to use this as a learning opportunity. I love that they're all the same age, mainly my offense, the youngest offense in the league by far. It's not even close. Jordan Love playing with a bunch of first and second year players, and then Aaron Jones and then AJ Dillon, and neither of those are even 30 years old. Like, I'm glad they're experiencing this together. And it's just the inexperience, man. It just pays a role. And Anders Carlson, like, it sucks. I know, like, it's a crazy statistic, man. Like, 10 of our last 12 games, he either missed a field goal or extra point. I do like what Matt LaFleur said. I'm not even going to bring up the prayer thing because that's stupid. That was a reach storyline in general. But like, Matt LaFleur, if you didn't see it, said, we're going to bring in competition everywhere. Competition is just good for everybody, and I like it. Romeo Doubs, possibly our wide receiver one. Such a great issue as having, I don't even know who our wide receiver one is. And typically, when you have that question mark, it's not like the New England Patriots where it's like, is Juju actually a wide receiver one? Could, Tyquan Thornton break out? Is it Demario Douglas, our rookie? Like, it's not that. It's, we have so much talent. We have so much youthful talent, a wide receiver and tight end core that costs under $12 million this upcoming season. It puts the Packers in a really good position for the future. They are going to have to make some decisions. Like, you've got Savage hitting free agency. I've got Jonathan Owens hitting free agency. David Bakhtiari might probably get cut. They do need to make some moves, some more offensive line depth, even though we were the best team as far as giving up. We gave up the least amount of sacks at the offensive line, but you've got a young quarterback. You're about to pay him a fat load of money. You got to protect him. You got to keep him upright. So we need some offensive line depth. We have a ton of draft capital. We got to move some money around in free agency for cap flexibility. We should probably tweak the safety position. We could probably tweak the linebacker position. I'm not quite sure if, I don't think Joe Barry keeps his job, nor do I'm pretty indifferent there. I know most Packers fans want Joe Barry gone, but like, I don't know if we had such an issue getting to the quarterback if it was because of Joe Barry's scheme where he's not like a huge blitzer. I don't think it's a personnel issue. I think it's more of a scheme issue. So I don't think we need more help at the edge or the defensive line position. The Packers are a really good team, and we're going to be good for several seasons. And so at the end of the day, man, that's all I care about. And it's all I talked about before the season began. It's all I talked about once the season was going on. And it's just been something we've been really preaching for the last year. Like, I don't really give a rat's ass how this season ended, as bitter and as tough as it was. Jordan Love's the dude. We have a loaded offense, and we have an impressive defense, and they just need to make some tweaks, man. It is what it is. But in the first year as post Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to take it. So hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, Packers fans especially. Let me know your thoughts on that game, and we'll see you soon. Also, just real quick, I just started a football podcast that we do live on this show, and then it's also on Spotify and streaming platforms. I'll throw the link in the bio and in the comments. That's it for me. Peace.